Hey everybody, welcome back to Northern Lion Plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. 12 wins in a row, that doesn't seem right. It's right, but not maybe in the universal cosmic sense of the word. Ooh, this is a really good start. 2CSY, Summertime Shy, throw your hands up in the sky. S92M with an early Temperance card and Ventricular Razor. I'm actually excited, oh come on, about the way this run looks right now, because check it out. Basically free access into the Curse Room, where we got 2 Spirit Hearts, which is pretty good. And then Ventricular Razor is actually awesome. I think we've been using that, or not been using that, but we've used that semi-recently relative to the, you know, rate at which I normally used it, which was pretty much 0. But it's a hugely, actually excellent item, and Sack Dagger right off the bat is great as well. I think this is actually one of the items that is probably the best in Afterbirth that I have ignored the most. And, you know, maybe this can finally be a little bit of a mea culpa for that, if you will. But for now, what do you use Sack Dagger for? Like, guaranteed teleportation? Man, piercing shots are just gonna wreck Larry Jr. Not to mention, we actually have, like, really good DPS, even if you ignore the piercing shots. But, hey, Speedball's not bad either. But yeah, we use it to teleport out of things. We use it to, you know, get ourselves out of any variety of harebrained schemes. Don't even forget about Boss Rush, either. Sorry, I was just checking what could have been an urgent message, but actually was not. This time we're going to take a half Spirit Heart of damage. I should not have stood there and let that happen, but it all worked out just fine nonetheless. And we picked up half of a Black Heart effectively by coming in there. I'll use 2 keys for this. What this does is it kind of replicates, if you're new-ish to Isaac, or maybe you've just forgotten, you used to be able to get into and out of mob and boss trap rooms just by having the ability to fly. It was so stupid, and yet so beautiful. Ventricular Razor kind of allows us to pretend as if those golden days had never gone. We can teleport basically out of wherever we please. A little bummed out that we're a key shy of being able to get in anywhere here. And no bombs either. But if we end up missing the item room on this floor, life goes on. You know, you gotta open up that double key room just to see. Well, you literally don't have to. In fact, it's actually a bad idea when you're that low on keys. But I gotta see if it's a, you know, if it's a D6 room or some kind of dice room. Because if it's not, then, you know, big deal, all we spent were keys, and oh, we just got a key as well. Wait a minute, how long have we had this key? Am I losing my mind? Sometimes I wonder. A mind would be a terrible thing to waste. I don't know. Is it like a Tim Burton quote or something like that from the Queen of Hearts? I don't know. Anyway. Head of Krampus. Not really necessary right now. We're absolutely crushing it. We're 2.5 minutes into the run, and we've already finished the first 2 floors. HP is alright, damage is very good. Okay, this is actually fine. There's no key for sale, which is a bummer, but there was pay to play, which means that, well, actually there were keys for sale technically, but with pay to play we don't need keys anymore to get into rooms, we just need money, and we got Mutant Spider out of our item room. We could have re-rolled it, we're not really super well off financially here. I don't think we can get into that mob trap room. I was hoping to, because we could get 2 keys and open those golden chests, but so be it. Life goes on. Yeah, we'll just head down to the next floor. I think Mutant Spider's fine, though. You know, with piercing shots, every shot is worth a little bit more. Sure, our rate of fire is going to be diminished based on the fact that we're, you know, dealing with quad shot now. But to be fair, I think most people, if they disparage a shot multiplier, everyone loves 20/20, and with good reason. Most people, I think, are pretty pro quad shot. The one that's somewhat contentious is triple shot. Mostly because quad shot exists. So you're like, why would I nerf my rate of fire if I'm getting 3 shots instead of 4? I don't know if they're nerfed proportionally. They might be, they might not be. Oh my god, the mulligan as well. You shouldn't have. This is actually getting into, like, most powerful run plausible territory. Not saying, like, it's very early to be saying this is the most powerful run we've ever had. I wouldn't go that far. But we're hitting like 8s or 9s out of 10 on like every single item we've come across so far, so it's hard to really throw up any kind of complaint right now. Not to mention this is also like the ideal kind of like super strong run. Let's try it. Did you see that? We're gonna stick with Ventricle Razor because it's a cool item, but certainly having Guppy's Head is also a huge positive for us for some obvious reasons, but it's the best kind of like powerful run that you can have because it's not just like, hey, super cool but also boring, we got Brimstone. No, it's like, this is a nice combination of items that are not always seen together, and it gives you the chance to, you know, get some interesting ways to pursue victory, I guess. I just realized we should be using keys to open golden chests like all the time because we have pay to play, so there's really no reason not to. Okay, Suicide King is interesting, but not necessarily good. Could, in fact, be horrible if I use it accidentally. That was also pretty bad. Now, if we can get a deal with the devil and get closer to the Guppy Dream here, that would be awesome. Guppy's Head showed up in a situation that was, like, super lucky. Squeezy is also a nice boon for us here, and the Hollow, one of the easier forms of the Hollow, and when you have piercing shots and high damage, like, the Hollow just stands no chance. So, we also get more DPS off of that. And we'll, I guess, do a lot of exploration on this floor because, you know, as it stands right now, we're in a good spot. And you know what the other benefit of Ventricle Razor is? We have the ability to really minimize the amount of backtracking we have to do because we can just put, like, a wormhole for ourselves at the exit to the floor. So we're looking for the other item room, which we just found, of course. We're looking for the arcade, and then we're looking for any kind of consumables that we could take advantage of. Nod Leaf feels weird to say, but it's, like, wonderful, but not really that impactful at all at the same time. Like, it's not necessary, let's put it that way. But we do have the tools to make it worthwhile, like, you know, the Sack Dagger in particular. I'm going to try to play this a little bit, and we turn Tractor Beam into the Halo, which I think is about where I'm going to stop tempting fate there. This is seriously, like, this is suspiciously good luck. This is like, you know, you win the lottery once, you're like, sweet, I won the lottery. I'll play it again as a joke, and then you win the lottery again, and then you got people knocking at your door like, hey, knock knock, how'd you do that, knock knock, you know, you're getting some undue attention, and, you know, case in point, we just got another awesome pill right there. Do I accidentally have, like, easy mode on or something? Hard mode is easy mode, let's be honest. Well, when you're going through heaven, keep going. It's not really a great Winston Churchill quote, but there's no reason for us to be out of this floor quickly. Like, we are presently at the point where we have basically completed 4 floors of the game, and we're approximately 7 minutes into the run. So I would say that we're pretty much set as far as, you know, like, completing this in boss rush and hush time is concerned. That's what I was looking for right there, was an arcade chance, and being able to pick up a little bit of extra money here is nice. Mostly because we use that money in place of keys as well. And we will, you know, crank on this with the IV bag a little bit, and getting that nickel out of this was nice, even though we are going to have to use a bomb. I will use a bomb to do it. And the final thing here is, I think I'm going to walk my way back, even though we do have the teleporter. And the reasoning for that is, check for the secret room, which we have not seen yet, but also gain access to this golden chest. And the golden chest gave us more keys, more money, more hearts, and more bombs. And then we got more money from the secret room, and then more money from this guy as well. We're at now up to 46 cents, which is a little ridiculous. Back to the shop. Don't really want anything here, I suppose. And we'll place a bomb to find a second secret room, potentially. Alright, well that... there goes... Wait. There goes the most suspiciously great floor we've had. But if this is a Guppy item, people are going to lose their minds. Or a teleportation to a great deal with the devil. Okay, it's spiders. See? It's not that suspiciously good. We got spiders. Sure, we rolled 8s, 9s, and 10s for every other check that we had on this floor. But then we got spiders in the red chest, so it's all good. Allow me to hydrate here for a second. Big Water has got its fingers all up in me. Austin's got me, I don't know, like, The NLSS on which this conversation happened was probably like a few days ago at this point, but my boy Austin, Last Grey Wolf, trying to tell me it's sensible to not drink a glass of water, like, from the time you wake up until, like, 7 p.m. local time if you're not thirsty. I get, maybe it's not necessary, strictly speaking, from, like, a biological standpoint, but, like, come on, dude. That's a long time to go without a single kind of hydration. And I'm not saying he is right, even on a biological level. I'm saying that's for people smarter than ourselves to figure out. I'm just saying, you know, I reserve the right to believe that he's right from a null hypothesis sort of perspective, but at the same time, yo, have some water, man. I can't believe he manages... Okay, let's not lose this many spirit hearts for no reason here. I can't believe Austin manages to maintain, like, such high spirits. Just Depths 1. Without eating or drinking for so long every single day. I'm not saying he doesn't eat, I'm just saying, you know, he weights it towards the later sections of the day. We're not in a dangerous position here. I just took some terrible damage. But, like, you know, sometimes I'm like, I'm grumpy. And then I'm like, why am I grumpy? And I realize that I'm grumpy because I'm a little thirsty. Maybe he's immune to those pressures, though. I will try this. Was it worth it? No, like, absolutely not. 5 cents for a spirit heart. You know, maybe it was. We got a luck upgrade out of it, so it's possible that that was actually completely okay. I left Book of Belial behind because, honestly, Ventricle Razor is good enough that, well, it's not just good enough that we don't need Book of Belial. It's, like, the entire theme and, like, one of the reasons that people are going to watch this run, I hope, is to see cool Ventricular Razor play. Although we are approaching the point where we have almost no need beyond boss rush to use Ventricular Razor because we're killing boss trap rooms, mob trap rooms so quickly that we really, you know, it's kind of just overkill to teleport out. In fact, it might just be a bad decision because if we're not teleporting out, we actually could. I am going to get rid of Suicide King for now, just because we don't have any means of regenerating our HP. You know what? We should use it for cursed rooms. Not the Suicide King, but we should use the Ventricular Razor for cursed rooms. No question about that. Firemind, I think, is maybe borderline bad at this point, but I'm gonna take it anyway. I'm not gonna go to the cursed room yet because we can, like, we already have something that will save us some time with backtracking. We have an exit portal that should not be cannibalized when we place another portal down, so we'll lose the Spirit Art, but that's it. And we still have, pardon me, a shop to visit as well. Wait, we didn't even go to the boss trap, or the mob trap room here, and here I am talking about how, you know, thank God we did the boss trap room, but we actually didn't. Okay, take BOGO bombs, then we can afford a bomb here for sure. I don't know, take Piggy Bank for seemingly no reason. Maybe we should have re-rolled it, but life goes on. So we enter the room. That much does not change. Get Bracano, just use it. Crack this, teleport back close to the boss room. You waste a key. Oh no, we have golden keys, so it's not a waste. Okay, down to the next floor. We're about 5 minutes ahead of boss rush right now. We absolutely will teleport out. Why am I using keys instead of pay to play here? Maybe we should be happy about that. And we do have Two of Spades, let's not forget, but it's kind of one of those weird situations where, like, Two of Spades is better because of the fact that we aren't using keys all the time. It allows us to get a much larger bonus off of Two of Spades, but at the same... Oh, 2 out of 3 Guppy items without it seeing one on a deal with the devil is kind of ridiculous. But we're also kind of at the point where we don't need Two of Spades to be good anymore because we're not using keys for anything except opening golden chests, so... Okay, I'm realizing there's an NL pattern. The pattern is get wicked strong and then take really, really stupid damage by overplaying your hand. And that almost happened like 3 times in the space of like 10 seconds there. So let's just nip that in the bud before it gets... Just knowing that there's a problem is half the battle, okay? So we're gonna start to do damage with our shots again. Let's keep in mind, we've got the Mulligan, Fire Mine, Quad Shot. We had decent starting damage to begin with. Our shots are piercing. You know, we had the Halo on top of that, so we're actually doing really well from a DPS department. I'm just stupidly like, yeah, sure, we're doing really well from a Tears department, but not as well as, like, you know, running into enemies with Sack Dagger. There's validity to that, but at the same time, it's a very stupid approach to take. We should also not be shooting close to enemies, because fire mine can blow up in our face. But I mean, we have gnawed leaves, so if you want to get technical, maybe we should just walk into every single room and stand still. But I ain't about that lifestyle. I'm gonna donate until we get to 5 cents here. This is the healthiest our donation machine has been in like 8 months, so quite happy about that. What's our game plan here? Honestly, I don't really have one beyond teleporting out of boss rush, unless the item that we get on boss rush is so good that there's no reason to teleport out. Well, this is like one of the beautiful parts of BOGO bombs right here. 1 bomb equals at least 2 bombs on a situation like that. Okay, just make sure you don't forget to put a portal outside. And maybe for Red Mom, I can justify using Sack Dagger. At times, at least. But we can't shoot if we use Sack Dagger, because it'll blow up in our face. When it blows up in your face. It's been a long time since I heard that song. Just like you did to me. Okay, we don't want Bumbo. Well, we do, but we don't want it as much as we want some other items. So we re-roll. Oh, easy choice. Bomber Boy's good, but we take Eden's Blessings. Because Eden's Blessing... Okay. Eden's Blessing is an item that makes the next run interesting as well. So we're paying it forward immediately. Maybe it gives us something super powerful. Maybe it gives us something terrible. Either way, I think it's the right choice to take that item over Bomber Boy, even though I quite like Bomber Boy as well. What is your problem, cat? That was very close to taking damage there. This run, if you're wondering how I feel about it, don't you feel like it's slowed down a little bit? Nah, dog. This is like... That would be the ultimate looking a gift horse in the mouth, because this run right now is fantastic. We are at 15 minutes, 2/3 of Guppy. We just killed Mom and stole an item out of Boss Rush that gave us 0.7 tears up, which is great. But then also beyond that... Oh, is that a tinted rock I saw with my little eye? No, apparently not. Beyond that, it's going to make our next run better. But we want to do Hush? No problem. We want to do... well, that's about it. I was going to say, we want to do Mega Satan? No problem. But we don't really, have a say, as much of a say in that. Which is why, at least for the Hush purposes, I'm going to be picking up... money as it falls. Luck upgrades would be ideal, but even just, every single penny gets us closer to buying something on the Hush fight to begin with. Wouldn't mind some more DPS improvements, but please don't take that as me being like, NL thinks this run needs more DPS. It's actually completely set. I've taken some dumb damage, and, maybe we'll have a wake-up call in the future when we hit rock bottom or something, but I don't think we need to necessarily. Like, we're pretty much crushing it. Sometimes I talk about runs and I go, hey, you guys are going to think this run's good, but, like, trust me, if you're piloting it, it's garbage. This was a different run. Like, I think our tiers kind of look unimpressive right now, but it feels like there's a lot of weight behind them. Like, this is it's quite a potent run. In case that wasn't obvious from the fact that at 16 minutes we're on the womb. And we actually did, like, pretty much explore the entirety of the run as it was available to us. I think we might have actually explored the entirety of the run as it was available to us. Either way. Also doing extremely well on consumables. Like, there was a time earlier on this run that things were a little dicier, but it's really turned around in terms of consumables. Like, we got a really good economy for pretty much every kind of consumable under the sun here. So I'm very happy with the way this run has gone. Is it still bordering most powerful run ever territory? I'm gonna say no, but talk to me like if we get a Guppy item at some point, and then we'll reevaluate. I think it might have lost its chance at number 1, obviously, but anything could happen, and it could still be in there as far as, like, being in the upper echelon is concerned. Obviously, 5 cents can be pretty valuable. We did get a Steam sale on this run, didn't we? Unless I'm having a flashback to, like, yesterday's Isaac runs, I think we got a Steam sale. There is no conceivable way in which we in which we don't get to hush here. Maybe the other reason I drink so much water is because, you know, I have this temperature gauge in my office. I wish they would come up with, like, a better name for it. Like, some kind of thermometer or something. But I'm looking at the thermometer, and I'm like, there you go. Damn, dude, it's, like 29 degrees Celsius in here. That's hot. That's not unlivable, but that's, you know, that's outdoors in the Canadian summer. And then when I've been recording in here for a long time, gets up to like 32, 33, sometimes even more, depending on, you know, if the lights are on, if the computer's working, etc., etc. And how does that even happen? Well, it's like my office has no ventilation. If there's a fire, I'm just done. But the rest of the apartment is actually cool right now. Like, it's cold because it's a winter, and it's like, for once, it's actually like below 0 in Vancouver consistently. No deal with the devil, but I'll take the cube of meat. We didn't take red heart damage on this floor, so I'm not sure how that happened, but we should be due one on this floor if I play my cards right, at least. But yeah, like, it's cool in the rest of the apartment. This room is just so poorly ventilated that now that the heat's on in the rest of the apartment, this room becomes, like, actually hell on earth. But I'll persevere. I think it's good, you know, get used to being at higher temperatures, because I've normally had pretty poor heat tolerance over the course of my life, but I've gotten it work, you know, to the point where I can survive it. It might surprise you, and I mean this sincerely. And it is kind of tooting my own horn, and I'll just admit that outright, but I'm not much of a complainer, you know? In Isaac, sometimes I'll be like, oh, we don't have the DPS that we need, but most of the time, I think that we have the tools to succeed in life and in Isaac as well, and I don't think we have anything to do with Ventricle Razor here. You know, I'm the kind of guy, if it's 10 degrees too hot in a room, people go, hey, you want me to turn up the heat? Or, sorry, they said turn up the heat, I'd be like, no thank you, please. But if they were like, hey, do you want us to crack a window or something? I'd be like, nah, you know, I don't want to inconvenience you. I'm a guest in your home. You keep the heat however you like, and if I don't like it, I'll just talk shit about you behind your back. Much more noble that way. So I can persevere, and I take it as a growing opportunity, but at the same time, it's a little fucking hot. That's also a very stubborn attitude to have. It's a learning lesson. We're not gonna fight Hush, by the way, and the reason that we're not gonna fight Hush... Wow, you idiot. The reason that we're not gonna fight Hush is because... Well, isn't it obvious? We have 4 HP. 3.5. HP has been kind of hard to come by. And I've squandered some Spirit Hearts. Like, please don't try to frame it as... Oh, I thought that was the Guppy Dream. As if I've squandered a ton. I have squandered some, but, you know, that's kind of like what you get into business with when you take Fire Mind, I think. We're gonna go up to the Cathedral, and it's not really... so much that I'm rushing right now, that it is that the run is just very fast. And these are like my favorite kind of Isaac runs. This one's either going to end... Well, let me put it this way. It's going to end very fast in Isaac terms. Whether it's a victory or a crushing defeat. But it should be a victory. If this is a crushing defeat, that's my bad. That sort of thing is my bad baby. Oh, ideal room. 2 Spirit Hearts and 2 bombs. Keep in mind, we also have Gnawed Leaves, so, I mean, if the going gets tough, the tough stand still and let their extremely overpowered familiar do all the damage for them. That's what I've always heard said. As the Fabulous Thunderbird said, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. As the Fabulous Thunderbird said, wrap it up, I'll take it. The Fabulous Thunderbirds, by the way, I think that's a fairly niche reference. They had music videos, you know, back in the day, but those videos weren't getting played on MTV. Those were like VH1 music videos. Not to say that they didn't have a following. I'm just saying, you know, they weren't international superstars. They could tour, but, you know, they're not selling out, you know, the Rogers Arena. Like, they're playing the Memorial Center or something like that. Either way, they have some lessons in their songs that I don't respect, if I'm being honest. We're gonna try this out, even though maybe... Oh, no, we definitely made the right decision. They have a song called, Can't Judge a Book by Looking at Its Cover. And it goes, can't you see you've misjudged me? I may look like a farmer, but I'm a lover. Can't judge a book by looking at the cover. Okay, see, it's hooky. You get it. It's got a certain, you know, comeuppance about it that is intoxicating from a musical standpoint. But at the same time, why do you have to badmouth farmers in making your point? I may look like a farmer, but I'm a lover. Have you ever seen a farmer's family? Back in the day, they were having like 14 kids. You think that farmer is not also a lover? He's got proof of his love and the fruit of his loins. I may look like a lover, but I've fathered many children. You judge the book by looking at the farmer. Okay. Can't judge a farmer by looking at his lovers. No, wait, I don't know where I'm going with this. Either way, though, I do know that I know where I've been, and I know that I'm going down on the next floor feeling really good about the way things are going, especially with that Guppy's Paw pickup that not only made us Guppy, but also gave us a bunch of Spirit Hearts. Beelzebub? Not even close. We will take Bob's Brain. We might as well take the quarter. Betrayal sucks, but I'll take it anyway. And this run is set. Like, we're in a totally 100% fine situation right now. We didn't get lucky. Like, we didn't get bailed out, is what I mean. We got lucky to get the items we got, but we didn't get bailed out on this run. You gotta be conservative, because, you know, I see these comments sometimes get very ornery about my Isaac play. It's actually fine, like, especially the older I've gotten, the more perspective I've gotten, and I find it hard, although it still does rattle me. When I was younger, when I was like 20, 24, 20, 23, 24, you look at a YouTube comment and somebody's like, hey, fucker, you're an idiot. You're like, yo, dude, fuck you. You're an idiot. Let me logically explain to you the ways that you're an idiot. I'm going to own you in this argument. Nowadays, I look at a YouTube comment and, you know, somebody's like, hey, fucker, you're an idiot. And I go, you're the one who's watching my videos. You know, who's the idiot? The one who's watching content made by idiots? Putting groceries on their table, or the dude who's making the bad decision that's getting them paid in the first place? Like, I'm not trying to engage in discourse here. I'm rather just saying, like, it doesn't bother me that much. Mostly, I also feel that I'm called an idiot primarily by people who are actually fans of mine and just wish I was smarter. And that is, like, that's a compliment. That's more like saying, you're dumb, but I know you can do better. And I'm okay with that. Like, that's a very noble aim, I think. But I see that sometimes people get very ornery over my Isaac play, and they go, oh, Beelzebub? Ooh. They go, oh, how does this guy get so lucky? He's getting all these wins that he doesn't deserve. You know, a broken watch is right twice a day. A broken watch is not right 100 times in a row, unless you were sampling it on such an infinitesimal time scale that, you know, it didn't meaningfully reflect the results of the situation. You get the idea, is what I'm trying to say here, is like, you can't judge a book by looking at its cover. All I'm saying is, you can't get lucky every run. You can't always get what you want. Don't look back in anger, and you also can't get lucky every run. So I feel like this is one in which I got lucky to get the items that I got, but I don't think we were gifted a win from a loss. If anything, I might have made it appear like a loss was more likely via relatively awful play, but, you know, with the items that we had here, we would have to get pretty low on our HP to feel like we were fucked. If we got lucky with anything on this run, it wasn't getting bailed out of what might have looked like a sticky situation. It was sincerely getting Guppy, and we got it late in the run, I'll admit, but to get Guppy, having never seen a Guppy item inside of a deal with the devil, is not unprecedented, but quite rare. To get Guppy exclusively from red chests is like a whole new world. Now, we probably should stop throwing HP away using Sack Dagger here. It's Sack Dagger plus Fire Mine plus Bob's Brain. But again, with Knob Leaf, as long as we go into the Blue Baby fight with 1 HP, we can probably, like, 1 HP and some flies, and we're Gucci. Especially considering we got the Wafer. Might even be able to get away with half of an HP. we will check that out, obviously. Yeah, this is going to be a win, and it's going to be an easy win, but at least it wasn't an easy win like the one a couple wins ago where we just started with Brimstone. This one was at least a little bit more novel, a little bit more engaging, and I like that. Oh my god, a Holy Mantle at the end as well. I like that we got a chance to use Ventricle Razor, an item that doesn't always or even often show up, but has like a lot of positives going for it. This is going to be win 13 as we continue our march to January and the January 3rd release date of Afterbirth Plus. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. New episodes come out every single day at 6 a.m. PST, and I'll see you next time.